Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. Today, let's model this banana because it has a very interesting surface technique that I would like to share with you. Are you ready? Let's get started. Why are we making banana today? Several reasons. They are very good food. They are actually quite interesting technique to dealing with the peeling of the banana. And after making 400 video for jewelry cat design, so I just want to make something different. Hopefully you will benefit from it too. So that's starting from the scratch. First of all, you want to find an image online and using the picture command to bring it in. Once you bring in, size into whatever size that you like. And then we can lock this one. Alright, so now we need to trace over. We're gonna use control point curve right here, and I want to zoom in to trace as close as possible. You want to avoid too many points, but you need to put down most of the point on most of the turning there, because if it's not enough point, it will have a hard time to find the right point to do the editing. But you don't want to like flood it with a lot of point because it might look a lot of a kink there. So we try to get it as less point as possible, but able to follow all the outline here. All right, once I'm done with that one, I want to come in roughly the same height, and we're gonna start drawing the next one. And again, I'm using the control point curve here, and we're gonna continue to draw this line. If you accidentally draw it inside of the shape, that's okay, because you can always turn on the control point to adjust it here. All right, make sure that the point follow what you want. So if it is not, I'm going to pick up everybody, bring it back a little bit so it's not like stick it out too much. At the same time, gonna come in back here. I'm going to stop holding all those curves and make sure that fitting into the design or fitting into the drawing that I bring in. All right, so now we have those two shapes here. Now, if you actually looking at the banana you have, the faces they have is actually not even sizes, odd size, and I count one of it. It looked like they have 7 faces. If I'm wrong, leave the comment and below, let me know, because that's what I have there. So then I wanted to using the polygon to draw something. It doesn't matter the size, but on the top view that you can see here that I have this curve for 7 faces. All right, and apparently this is too sharp, so we're gonna coming into the curve. We have the fillet corners, and then I'm going to fillet corners for all of them. So now they are softer. Now after we do that, we want to still, for the nature, it shouldn't be so geometric looking, especially you got a straight line in between those two fillet there. So I'm going to coming into the rebuild for the command, and you have this dialog coming up. We wanted to have the number you can multiply by 7. So in this case, I got 28, which means each of a corner I will have 3 point roughly there. And make sure the degree is equal 3, and we click OK. Now you see this is a lot more irregular a little bit, but it's more close to nature. But I do not like this cave-in looking there, so I'm going to pick up all the highest point right there. It should be 7 point right there, and simply just using the gumball to scale them down so they will become something like this. So not all the side is equally now, but that's fine. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so now we have this one. I'm gonna coming into all view, as you can see here, and I'm also going to unlock my drawing and just temporarily to hide it. All right, we need to bring this guy to this beginning as we're gonna do the sweep. So let's go ahead to use the command for orient to point, and we're gonna orient this guy snapping into the midpoint here and somewhere here for the quadrant, right? And then we want to keep the copy just in case we want to do something else. And the scale, I wanted to do yes, and I want a 3D scale there. So then we want to come into snapping this endpoint to this endpoint right there. Okay, so now we have that. Let's go ahead to hiding this guy. And let's see what the shape will look like. We're gonna go into the surface tool. You got sweep to rail, you got rail 1, rail 2, and cross section right there. And that will be okay. All right, cool. Now we have this shape right here. You can close this one by using the cap command. So now this is completely solid. Now let's start working on outside of a banana for the skin. And one of it I wanted to be able to peer open, right? So let's take a look on this one more time. And this time I actually want to coming into my top view. And in my top view, I wanted to separate this line right here. So just in case, if you need like more peeling, then you might want to separate all of them. This is what I mean here. We're gonna use a split command using the point, and we're gonna roughly right here and right here, and this one right here, we now have two curves. This curve right here, I'm going to make them into the red color. All right, so once we separate it, we are gonna coming into the surface. We got sweep to rail, and again I'm gonna pick up the same thing. This is the rail 1, this is the rail 2, and we're gonna pick up the black one first. So then I get this one. Now it might be harder for you to see, so I'm going to change the color into the green color, so you know what I'm just did is creating exactly the same surface but without a middle one. Now we want to create a middle one. Let's do the sweep to one more time. You got rail 1, you got rail 2 as the edge of that surface we just created, and then we got this curve right there, and let's click OK. All right, so with this one right here, this surface, I'm going to turn them into the red color. All right, so now you can see we have all of this surface. Now to turning the surface into the solid, we can just simply offset the surface, and we want to offset to something really thin. So let's say in this case might be 0.2. And make sure solid equal yes. And we want them all flip it outside. So then we'll get a little skin right there. The same thing we are going to do with this one. And we want to get a solid there. So now we have this in solid. If you take a look on the render view, it's hard to see where the seam is. So this is what we are going to play with. Have this ray one that's open or pierce open, that we are going to use the command for bend. And you want to bend it where you want them to open the most. So I'm gonna stop somewhere here, and I'm just going to be open like this. Then that's how you get the shape. Now, if you are turning this into the jewelry, make sure the thickness that you have is sufficient for the casting. Otherwise, they're probably going to be breaking. And if you like to do more faces, you just need to split the top into more sections, and you can do exactly the same thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think and see if you would like to see more of this organic modeling. Thank you for watching. More trick and tips for Rhino 3D model. It's in my membership program. Join the membership to support a small YouTuber like me, at the same time learning more stuff. See you next.